All right, well, welcome back everybody. My name's Andrew and you're watching the Kelly's Country Life. So today is an episode I have been waiting to do. Been waiting on a very special product which we're going to talk about in a second, but we are going to start finishing up the storm shelter. This is probably the second to last video in this storm shelter series, but today is all about safety and prepping the inside. I will have some more stuff still coming after today, but I have one special product, like I said, that I really wanted to show off. So let's open this up, get inside, and start setting up the shelter because hurricane season will be here before you know it. So if you're new to the channel, this is a homemade tornado/hurricane shelter that I have built. We live in Florida and we're about 30 to 40 miles from the coast, so hurricanes are a constant problem here. We also got hit by a tornado last March, which was a bit of a shock for us. Florida has a ton of tornadoes, but they're very weak and small, and you just don't really hear about them a whole lot in the national news. So it came as a surprise for us to actually get hit by one. It opened up our eyes. It really got us to thinking about preparation and building something safe. So if you'd like to watch this build up to this point, this is a very unique type of above ground shelter that I built for cost savings, and I used tornado damaged materials from the barn that it knocked down here to build this shelter. It's very unique, very thick. I know a lot of people are looking at it going, above ground shelter. Well, this is Florida. You don't really go on the ground much here. High water table. But today is not about the build itself. It's about prepping the inside. So let me show y'all around. So this is an all steel door, or steel shell I should say, with heavy duty latches that I made to go into the wall. It's also got 3 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood on the inside. Like I said, fully wrapped in steel. Very, very heavy duty, weighs several hundred pounds. So if you come inside the shelter, it is bolted down to an 8-inch concrete slab. And it's not fancy, but we were wanting to set this up, not just for tornadoes, but most importantly for hurricanes. If we have extended periods of time in here, we need to make sure that we're safe and that we can power up our equipment. So that's what today's about. Safe, powering up equipment. Let's go outside and I'm going to show you a few things that we have. All right, I apologize talking to you with the sunglasses on, but it's extremely bright out here. But we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the products that I have for the storm shelter. And the most exciting product that I've been waiting on to do this video and kind of wrap things up is right here. I had a company reach out to me called EcoFlow, and they make a power generation system, but not like what you and I are probably used to, the old school where you have a big battery and you hook up a power inverter. It's not clean technology, not clean power, and not very efficient. I didn't even realize such a thing was made. I've been a typical gas generator person, just like a lot of y'all, and when I started reading up about this product, I thought this is absolutely amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So what we essentially have here is a battery powered generator, but it's so much more than that. This thing is very compact, but very sophisticated. It only weighs a little over 15 pounds. You can pick it up and carry it anywhere. It has some awesome features for input and charging, as well as output. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So if you flip up this cover here on the side, you can do your typical 110 volt wall outlet charging. This thing is extremely fast. When I first got it, it was almost dead. They claim it'll recharge 0 to 80% in 1 hour, and I can vouch for it. It did do that. 0 to full recharge, 1.6 hours. That is a technology you don't see in a lot of other products. It takes many, many hours to recharge a battery of this size. That's awesome that it recharges so quick. The other cool thing about this is you can recharge this from a vehicle. 12 volt adapter. So say you're out camping or you're in a storm or survival type situation, you can go out, start your vehicle up, actually recharge this from the vehicle battery itself. And the other very neat feature on the side is solar panels. This can be recharged by solar. They can claim that you can get it recharged in as soon as 4.5 hours. The typical range is 4.5 to 9 hours, depending on how big of solar panels you have and how you have them set up. That's something I'm looking forward to kind of getting in the future, and something that had me very excited for y'all. I do have gas generators here on the property, but there's times that you can't run them. Say if we're inside riding out a hurricane, for example. There's a lot of y'all that may live in condos, high rises, or places to where gas generators just absolutely are not an option. Well, chances are you can use one of these. You can already have it pre-charged before a storm. You may have access to sunlight to charge via solar panels, or charge this 12 volt wise. I thought that was so neat that it has so many different options, and it has an extremely quick recharge time. Now over on this side it has your typical wall outlets. That's what this does. It powers up most of your 110 volt appliances. Has a few more outlets on the front that we'll talk about here for a second. The cool thing about this is it's pure sine wave technology. So if you have sensitive electronics like computers or medical equipment, this thing has clean power. Not like, again, those old inverters you hook up to a battery. Very, very clean power. Something I'm really looking forward to. Now I can run my laptop off of this, charge certain types of camera equipment, other sensitive electronics that I'd be a little worried about plugging in anything else other than a wall outlet. So as far as power output, it does 600 watts continuous, 1200 surge. But this also has an app you can hook up to on your phone. I've already downloaded it. Very easy to use, and you can turn on the X Boost feature of this, and it'll actually have up to 1800 watt surge. That'll run a lot of stuff. That'll run a lot of your kitchen appliances, maybe even refrigerators. That's what we're gonna do on the next actual review of this product. I wanna test some of those products. And I want y'all to drop some comments down below and let me know what you want me to test. I'm gonna wait a few days before I start that video, and I've already got several things in mind around the property that I wanna see if this will power up as well. So if you look on the front of this, it has 3 USB charging ports, including a fast charge port. It also has USB-C 100 watt dedicated adapter. So really fast charging of phones or anything else that takes a USB-C port. Also has your typical 12 volt cigarette outlet. So that's a very neat feature about this as well. It can power up pretty much just about anything from 110 volts down to your 12 volt. Also has a light on the front. So if you want to use this, it has a low, a bright, and a SOS function. So if you want to carry this with you camping or actually use it, again, kind of in a survival situation like we're planning on using. And another very neat feature of this, there's a port on the side. I'm really considering getting this to where you can piggyback another power bank. So you can take this from 720 watt hours up to 1440 watt hours. So it'll actually double the capacity. That'll run a lot of things a very, very long time. Thought that was another very neat feature of this. So it has an awesome LED readout, which is very hard to see out here in the sunlight. We'll carry it inside in just a second. I'll show you that. It'll actually tell you percent to recharge time, percent to discharge time, how long before it'll run out when you're running a certain appliance. Tells you input wattage, tells you output wattage, everything. Overload protection built in. This thing is unbelievable. It's more sophisticated than my gas generators, and again, a leap above the old inverter technology stuff that we have. I think this is going to be an amazing addition to our storm shelter, and a lot of y'all know why. We do forced ventilation, and we're going to power up a few other things in there. I'm really excited to have this. So enough about that. We're going to talk about a few of the things that I have to go inside. Again, I'm going to do a full review on this in just a couple of days. Let me know what you want me to see this will power up, and I know a lot of y'all may be interested in something very neat like this to use around your property, survival situations, storms, etc. All right, so the next thing we purchased for the storm shelter, obviously a weather radio is a must. I've already set it up, tuned it into this area. It's working flawlessly. I like that it has full battery power. It also has wall outlet backup. Again, if we lose power out here in the middle of a hurricane, I've got a 110 volt backup right here. This would probably run this for days and days and days. We don't plan on being in there quite that long. A lot of people suggested we get a carbon monoxide monitor. We got one. Very good idea. So we're going to put one of those in there for safety as well. Got a couple different options for battery powered lights. So if we come in the dark in the middle of a storm, we can tap a couple lights on. If we've lost power, we don't have to fumble around for anything else. Obviously, we've got a backup light over here on this generator as well. And here's another type that I have, and a few of these laying around from some other projects. And of course, I don't think we have to explain this one too much. A lot of people have mentioned, hey, let's don't talk about it. But what are you gonna do should Mother Nature happen in there? I've got a bucket, a bunch of sawdust from doing firewood on the property. Purchased this very inexpensive lid, we'll just call it. So we're going to do a little bit more backup in there. I also purchased one other thing that I've already been running in here. Let me show you that right now. So this device right here is quite neat. This is a programmable wall outlet, and I have this set up to where it'll run a couple of times a day and turn on this forced ventilation. So essentially what it's doing is pulling fresh air into this room through these vents. That way we don't wind up with a lot of moisture built up in here or stagnant air. So I thought that was a very neat feature to have, to be able to run that fan off and on, so I don't have to remember to come out here and constantly do that. So one cool thing about this It fits my little shelf I built perfectly. You can see I've already got a backup LED light in here in case our standard light goes out, we lose power. I can just unplug this and plug it right into this generator. Turn the power on. Let's see. Obviously I expected to run this no problem. We've got power. Now here's the cool thing about this EcoFlow River Pro. This LED readout. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but as you can see, I have a 9-watt LED bulb in here, and it's showing we're doing exactly 9 watts of output. The input is for when you're charging. Again, doesn't matter if you're using 12-volt, solar, or a wall outlet to charge this. It'll show you input voltage. Right over here on the LED readout, it keeps jumping up to 99 hours, showing that we have somewhere around 90 plus hours of runtime to run that light. I love that it shows you how much time you have left. Here's your battery power voltage, and obviously it's showing that we're running at 60 hertz output there. All right, so let's just go ahead and talk about this. Some people are probably looking and going, are you serious? You've got an AC in here? Well, think about it. We could be in here 6, 7, or 8 hours through a very bad hurricane riding it out. And it can get hot at times, no doubt, get stuffy in here. So yes, we put us a small window unit in here with a steel door that can be bolted down in case the storm gets really bad and there's fear of this getting ripped out. We still have our protection. But a lot of y'all are probably looking at this and going, is there any way that tiny little battery pack can power that? Let's find out. All right, so as you can see, I have the AC plugged in to this tiny little power pack. Here's the cool thing about the EcoFlow app. It'll tell you the temperature of the unit, your battery capacity. You can turn the AC off or on from this. You can have full control of that unit. But here's the critical thing. You can use this X Boost. This will take it from 1200 watts of surge capacity to 1800 watts. That should be enough to power up an AC unit. Let's find out. Alright, so that's fan only on high. Let's see if it'll kick the compressor on. The compressor is on. So y'all should be able to hear that running. You can see I am on max cool, high fan. And check this out. We're pulling 370, 390 watts. And this is telling me this little battery powered device will run for 2 more hours running that AC with the compressor kicked in. Now here's the thing. What if you just want the fan on and want to move some air? You know the compressor isn't going to run forever. It does not take long to cool off this small room. Alright, fan only. Now we're down to 65 watts, and this is saying it'll power this for 12 hours. I absolutely cannot believe this little device can kick on an AC compressor. They have such a surge when they first kick on.
Showers and thunderstorms likely in the evening. Then chance of showers and thunder.
Picks up just fine in here, even with the metal roof. Now I know what you're probably thinking. A TV, man? Come on. This ain't the Taj Mahal. Well, the TV is going to serve two very important purposes. I actually ordered a outside day and night camera. There's no windows in here. There really doesn't need to be. That's not safe in a storm shelter. But it's got to be comforting to be able to see what's going on outside. Problem is, the camera that just came in, they forgot to include the power cable, so I had to send it back. So I will be drilling a hole through the wall, installing an outside day and night camera so we can click on the TV, see what's going on outside. That'll make us feel better. Not to mention, when you're trapped inside here hearing wind, maybe things hitting the side, kind of wondering what's going on, it's an unnerving feeling. Being able to turn on the TV, turn on a movie, we're actually going to get one of those little Chrome sticks. We can hotspot off of our phone and we can watch something out here. If we're trapped in here for hours, that'll really help time go by and make us feel better. Or we can just simply put something up on there, sound, a picture, anything to give you something to focus on other than just kind of sitting here in a room wondering if everything's blowing away outside. So this is really going to help us feel better. We're also going to bring some games and a few other things out here that y'all have suggested. We'll have our phones, we get signal in here, so we're good there. I just brought a charging cable out that I can charge off of this, the wall, whatever I need, so phones will always be working for safety and to kind of take our mind off things. But this isn't so we can come out here and just have a good time. This is to really distract us from the wind, the noise, and to give us a picture outside of what's going on. I think this will be a perfect, we're going to put a futon right here. This will be a perfect kind of night light, nice and calming, not too bright. All right, so here we are with the inside mostly complete. The AC is ready to use if we want that comfort. We have push button lights. We have backup LED lights that can plug in the wall or plug into the EcoFlow power station. We have a weather radio, carbon monoxide monitor, TV that's going to be getting a future camera, shelving. I went ahead and threw some bottles of water out here, some toilet paper because we have, just in case, you never know. Got to get that filled full of sawdust. Have another battery powered light over here. Some extra batteries right here for some of the monitors and weather station out here. The EcoFlow manual just in case I need it, as well as weather radio manual. And we're going to bring a lot more stuff out here. A little doggy bed, probably a change of clothes, a towel. We eventually want to get a rug down here in case we have to run out here. We don't want to track in. So lots of other things are going to come out here. We've been talking about getting an O2 meter just in case, but now that we have this major battery backup, always have power and can always run forced ventilation, I'm not so sure that we need all the extra meters. We will be quite safe running and knowing we can power everything up. And if I remember correctly, I think this would power that fan for like 40 something hours whenever I plugged it in. It was a crazy amount of time. So until we get our futon, we had a couple of extra zero gravity chairs laying around. I've got those staged in here. Very comfortable to sit in, or you can recline all the way and even take a nap in them should we get trapped out here for quite some time. But overall, the inside is very, very close to being ready. No doubt we could go ahead and use this right now. All right, so this video has probably went on long enough, but I am very happy where we're at. We've got the safety equipment inside, the carbon monoxide monitor. We've got the weather radio in case phones ever go out. That's something that Tiffany was big on or really wanted, so we kind of monitor everything going on. And a huge shout out to EcoFlow. Thank you so much for sending that power station here to try. That thing is absolutely awesome. I feel so good having the storm shelter now, knowing that I have that kind of backup. So if we need to turn on forced ventilation, get some fresh air in there, be safe, or we want to turn on some of these creature comforts, knowing that I've got that kind of power and backup at my fingertips is awesome. So y'all check them out. I'll actually have some coupon codes down in the description and a link to where you can go see it. But they have generously offered some discounts if you want to do the extra battery and double the power on it, or get a discount on that unit itself. But a big thank you to them. Don't forget, in a few days, I'm going to do a full review on that. I think it deserves it. And I'm going to try several different things to see if it'll power it up. I am blown away. That thing powered up a window unit, a 5,000 BTU window unit, and said it would run it for 2 hours on a compact package that only weighs a little over 15 pounds. Blew my mind. I'm curious to see what kind of tools it'll run. If it'll run a refrigerator. Just think about that. A lot of y'all live somewhere that you can't run a gas generator. Obviously you can't run one inside, that's dangerous, but to know that you could save some food or run a CPAP machine if you needed to sleep at night, or whatever else it is that you need to where you can't use a traditional gas generator, that is so neat on something that's so lightweight that you can tote around and do that. So drop a comment down below on anything that you think that I might have that you want me to test in this upcoming video. I'm going to wait a few days, read these comments. I'm going to gather up some things myself, and then we're going to do a full test to see what this will truly power up, and I'll have that video out to you. As far as the storm shelter, we're not done. We're close. We've got the inside now where we could easily come out and ride out a tornado. We want to throw a few more creature comforts out here if we're going to ride out for hours with a hurricane. Probably the next video is going to be external. I've got some drip edge for this side, some leftover from the house. I really have been concerned about the ridge cap vent not being wide enough and allowing rain to blow underneath. I've got one that is almost twice that wide, so we're going to change the ridge vent out. A lot of y'all had really good suggestions. If we were to come out here in high winds and a bad storm and open this door, it could just blow wide open on us and we couldn't get it back closed. So I'm going to the hardware store. I'm going to get some chain and run a bolt here, bolt to the door so it can open no more than this and we can get it closed in high winds. Lots of little things like that that I want to do. Also, a lot of people have brought up a very valid point. While this door seal has been working awesome, I've not got a single drop of water inside. I'm probably going to get some flashing that'll run outside here and at least hang over the door so water doesn't drip down and potentially one day get in here. So we're going to do some external cosmetic things to make sure that this stays a very solid storm shelter for years to come. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video.